Yeah, hell, I'm sitting here in a meditative trance just listening to those ladies chant. Wow. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Right. Welcome back. Open Pagan Church. Hope everybody's doing well. I can tell you, um, Mother Winter is still hanging around here in north central Texas. Temperature, I think, out there is just scoop hovering above 35, I believe. Let's see. Yep, 35 degrees. 35 point somebody, that is. Chittle bit chilly. Boy, I cleaned that up, didn't I? Right. What is our topic? Well, there's a thing that certain people, most of us that have studied, especially here in the Texas area, that have studied Texas ministry. Good morning. And we've gone on. We follow our past, whether it's shaman, witchcraft, um, whether it's shaman, witchcraft, fae, druid, ostru, whatever. And we go on past that into and decide to continue on with pagan ministry, thereby allowing ourselves to help others that are just trying to learn who and what they are. Good morning to those of you just joining. Excuse me, pardon me. So, and I've done a lot of research, looking around, done a lot of meditation on this topic, and I figured we needed to touch on it because I've been accused of doing something I'm not qualified to do. Dun dun dun. What makes you qualified to be a minister? Hmm. Well, so I was curious. Considering we in the HOP have been teaching people how to be pagan ministers for almost 20 years. Not qualified. So I got to looking into it, and of course, one of the things that you have to do in your country or your state is look up what qualifies you as a minister of your chosen religion. Is it a PH or a bachelor's degree in religious study? Nope. Is it a doctorate? Well, that's a PhD, isn't it? Hmm. Is it 20 some odd years of education and life? Probably. One of the things that we found is through searching religious ministry laws in Texas, understanding, morning Teresa, Clint, Michelle, Sean, Dave, everybody's coming in this morning. Welcome. One of the things that we found studying Texas religious law is that in order to be a minister in Texas, you have to be acknowledged by 3+ members in your congregation as their minister. That is also the same law required to be able to perform legal marriages in Texas. Now, like I say, whatever state you're in, each state's going to have a little bit different laws, I would imagine. I haven't really had the time to sit down and study other laws in other states. But I can assure you, if I'm going to perform a wedding in Texas, I needed to know the wedding laws and what's required. Now, yes, back in 2000, I think it was, just kind of as a cute novelty item, I went out on the UU website and I filled out and got a silly little certificate that says you are a reverend within your field of study. Well, any dog can get that. You can get one for your puppy dog. You can make your puppy dog a registered minister. Yeah, with no training, no acknowledgement, no nothing. Just your puppy's a minister. But I mean, hey, it was a novelty item. I thought it was kind of cute. Cost me $10. Okay, fine. But it didn't make me a minister. The people that we had in the HOP and that we still have in the HOP, and those that frequent the open pagan church, and those who have asked me to perform their wedding ceremonies, have acknowledged me as a pagan minister. Field of study has been religious history and philosophy for years. But one of the points I wanted to make in today's open pagan church is a minister is a minister is a minister. Whether you're pagan, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, granted, they don't call their religious leaders ministers. They're rabbis, priests, whatever their term may be for their chosen religion. But if you carry the word of your base chosen religion, you might be a minister. What is it said? If you tell your friends, here, hold my beer, watch this, you might be a redneck. Nah, just joking around. So, but what makes a minister? Well, I can tell you in Open Pagan Church, just like any of my other broadcasts that I do, the things that I teach are from my experience, from my education and training, things I've learned through the years. Does it make me 100% right? Absolutely not, nor have I ever claimed it to make me 100% right. But one of the things that I firmly believe in as a pagan minister is that if you're going to be a minister of something, do your best to live that something that you're a minister of. In other words, walk the talk. Be who you say you are. Now I know that when people say, "What are you?" I say, well, I am a son to my parents. I am a father to my daughter. I am a husband to my wife. I am a pagan, first and foremost. I firmly believe in the God and Goddess. Polytheism. I firmly believe that we should be who we are, irregardless of whether or not the rest of the world agrees with it. I'm not here to make everyone else happy. If I happen to share a wisdom or a thought or an idea that someone else agrees with, cool. If we're in an open forum like Open Pagan Church and you disagree with it, tell me why. I'm cool with people disagreeing with me. Make sure it's in the right forum and tell me why. Dave says anyone is a minister. Let's see, anyone is a minister should never hold their title up higher than people around them. If one is a minister, one should be consistent. Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you. I don't put myself above others, and anybody that knows me, that truly knows me, knows that. Um, Nor will I allow anyone to walk on me. So, as a minister, one of the things that I've noticed talking to other religious leaders over the last 20 odd years is that every one of us, no matter what faith we follow, whether it's pagan, Christian, whatever, we all have the same basic want to live life as good as we can, to end up in whatever good place we're going to end up when this body dies, whatever you may call it, to treat people as good as we possibly can around us. Good morning, Tasha. But to try to treat people with as respect and as good as we can around us. In 2000, when I took my oath as a pagan minister, it was given to me by my peers, by those people who had known me for years, had been to my talks, my seminars, my public speaking, and found me to be true and congruent to my words. That's how I see a minister. Now, if I'm going to quote information as fact, I'm going to do my research and I'm going to tag other sites so that people can go read it to see where I'm quoting my fact. Most of the time in open pagan church, I'm just sharing an idea, sharing a thought. To me, that's what makes a minister. Semantics, perhaps. Semantics, perhaps, and the reason I say semantics because the next word I'm going to throw out there is a preacher. And that's been my experience with preachers. They stand up at the podium and they slam their gavel down or they slam their hand down on that Bible and they preach the word of God and you're going to rot in hell and so be, praise God. You got to do it my way or the highway. Damn well gives me heartburn even thinking about that. But to me, a preacher is somebody that stands up there and pounds a book and damns people if they don't follow the book. To me, that's a preacher. But a minister is someone that understands the differences of the religions around the world. And I'm not going to pretend to sit here and tell you I know every religion there is around the world. I would like to. There's just not enough hours in the day to go to work, make a living, and come home and study all of the religions around the world. I've studied a bunch of them. And when I say studied them, I read their canon. I read their bylaws. I go in and I take a look at their core lifestyle of what they believe. Generally, when I study a religion, I very seldom ever study the people. Now, some of you may get a little pissed off when I say this, and that's okay. But it's the people that screw up the religion, not the religion that screw up the people. It is the people that completely cock up whatever religion it is they claim to follow, not the religion that screws up the people. That makes sense. That makes sense. Um, if you're if you're reading, if you're part of our live broadcast, and even if you're watching the pre-recorded on Facebook, you ought to read Dave's post he just put in here. It begins with, I believe a lot of preachers are called because they use the congregation as a mirror to validate what they're actually teaching. Well, I kind of agree with that when it comes to preachers. Preachers seem to need a lot of validation. They need to be told by a lot of people, you're right. They need to be told by people, oh, if it wasn't for you, I would go to hell. No. One of the things I always found interesting about Catholicism, now, I'm not going to sit here and put down Catholics, but I just always found it interesting about Catholicism that the priest and those who do confessional in Catholicism truly believe in their heart of hearts that the only way to heaven is through the church, through the priest. So the only way you can get to heaven, according to Catholicism, is through the priest. I don't want that responsibility. Not a god, don't want to be a god. No, I don't even want that. So what do we do as a minister? I mean, we're 15 minutes into, 16, 17 minutes into the broadcast. And we've essentially already done the broadcast. But what do you want in a minister? I'm not asking what you expect out of me. Goddess knows I am who I am. But something I don't know if people actually think about. What do you want from a minister? More importantly, what do you want from a teacher of religion, of your chosen religion? Now, I don't really actually do open pagan church to teach you paganism. I do answer simplistic, paganistic questions of the core. But I am very careful in open pagan church to stay away from path-related specifics, such as, how many candles do you light in a Sabbath? I'm not going to sit here and tell you as a pagan minister how many candles you should light at a Sabbath. Now on the flip side, in the Grove of the Celtic Shaman, yes, we have specific training that teaches you how to light candles, how many candles you should light, depending on which Sabbath you're doing. But that's the difference between all of my hats that I wear, right? I have the hat of the pagan minister, which I try to leave on 24/7. And then on top of that, I put the master of the Grove of one of the masters of the Grove of the Celtic Shaman. I'm not the end all be all. Don't want to be. Not my responsibility to be. But as a minister, I try to walk the talk. I try to hold doors open for people. And the interesting part is, I like to tell people, have a nice day. No matter what kind of day I'm having, no matter how bad a mood I may be in on a particular day, as a pagan minister, I try to say, have a nice day. And pagan ministers are not the only ones that do that. I've had conversations with Christian ministers. I've had conversations with rabbis, monks, Buddhist. Well, Buddhism's not a religion. It's a discipline. But anyway, and their participation in life, their ideology, their philosophy, if you will, is to live life as good as you can and respect others that are different from yourself. Acceptance, as it were. I accept people that are different. I'm perfectly fine people being different. Mic on your headset is a good one. Thanks, dude. This is probably the most comfortable headset I've ever come across. Um, I have to say, it's a Logitech. Couldn't tell you what model. Um, I think the thing's probably 4 or 5 years old. It's a USB plug-in, and I do have to say that when I tried using this headset for Windows, it didn't do well. So the headset uh, works perfect in Linux, and the OBS software that we use for live broadcasting um, has filters and such in it that I think really makes it sound good. Thank you. It is my perception that ministers should humble their philosophy, their stand in life. That a minister, no matter what path you follow, should humble who you are. Be true to who you are. I'm not going to pretend to sit here and tell you how to live your life. I got ideas. But you know what they say about opinions? Family channel, I'll keep it clean. So I asked a while ago, and granted, we don't have a whole lot of live watchers that are showing up. I know that there's a lot of shadow watchers. The stats, the statistics later in Open Pagan Church will tell me how many shadow watchers we had, people that don't actually show up in the live feed. That's fine. Whether there's one or none, I'm still going to post. But I asked a question a while ago, and I want to ask it again because I'm curious. So for those who watch our pre-recorded broadcast, feel free to drop in the chat, and I'll read it as soon as I can. But what do you look for in a minister? What do you want? Not necessarily, like I said, what you want out of me, but what do you look for in a religious minister? No matter what the religion. Um, Christian, pagan, um, Jewish rabbi, Catholic priest. So what is it you're looking for? Me, example, one of the things I look for in a minister is someone who's true to their words. Someone that doesn't preach the evils of money and jewelry and makeup and all of this other stuff. And you look down in the first row at their wife, and she's made up like Tammy Faye Baker. If you don't know who that is, Google them. Or they drive a brand new Porsche or Mercedes, and they're preaching the evils of money, and they're passing the tray around. Agree with Dave. Minister should never be about power. Needs to be sincere. Right. I didn't take on being a pagan minister to have power. Never been my thing. I can't tell you why I started it really. Um, I can tell you when I was in high school, people always came to me for recommendations, ideas, thoughts. I seem to somewhere have the answer of some kind. I seem to have patience with people that try and seem to fail. I seem to have minimal to zero patience with people that are too busy judging others, telling people, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm not going to tell you how you're wrong, but you're wrong because I told you you're wrong. No, I have a problem with that. If you're damn well going to tell me I'm wrong, you better damn well tell me why. Just because you said so, well, doesn't mean anything. So I agree. And like I say, I wanted to cover this topic because a lot of the conversation that I've had with people through the years, they don't know what to expect from a minister. They don't know the questions to ask. And you know, the interesting part is, I was always taught that 90% of getting the answer you seek is knowing how to formulate the question. Yep, Clint Post, a minister to me, meaning him, is true to following their path or religion, not expecting anything in return in the form of money or power. They need to just be themselves in respect and honor. Absolutely. One of the things that the HOP and Open Pagan Church has never done is have an expectation of power and an expectation of money. We've never passed around the hat. We've never passed around the plate. If people wanted to donate, I always told them bring food. If people wanted to donate, I always told them donate to one of the local pantries. And I still tell people that. And I've had people that want to donate money. Okay, hit me up in PM. I'll give you my PayPal. If you want to send a couple of bucks, that's great. Help keep the lights on. Other than that, I do what I do just because I like it. Never been much for power, really. My boss keeps giving me leadership roles and things to do at work to guide others and manage others. I'm not a manager. I'm a team lead, but I'm not a manager. Hmm. Respect. So here's my thought, and I'll kind of draw this to a close because it is a relative topic that if we continue on, we're just going to keep recovering things we've already covered with a minister as a minister. But let's think about something. You first have to realize, like I say, what you want in a religious leader, a minister, preacher, rabbi, whatever you call them. Decide what you're looking for. Talk with them one on one. Ask your questions. I don't really ever recommend slamming anyone in a public forum because that tends to put people on the defensive. But be human about it. Hit 'em up one on one, public forum. Hell, ask 'em if you can call 'em on the telephone. I have no problems people calling me on my phone going, "What the hell are you doing?" What do you mean, what the hell am I doing? Talk to your religious leaders, those who you find to help guide you through your way. I'm not going to tell you what you should be, and I'm not going to tell you you're wrong living the way you live. I may disagree with you, and that's okay. We're okay to disagree. We're okay to agree to disagree. I'm not here to tell you what you're doing is wrong, unless you ask me, do you think what I'm doing is wrong? And I may say yes or no, and why. But a minister is a minister. No matter what religion you follow, no matter what faith you claim to hold true to your heart, a true minister should be true to themselves and be true to you. Ask the hard questions. Ask the hard questions. And if they don't want to answer them, they can't answer them. Maybe you need a different minister. Or if you don't get along with them because your energies don't mesh or your personalities conflict, move on. I've always told people, I never claim to be the end all be all. But a minister is a minister. They should listen to what you have to say. They should place judgment where asked. Other than that, the only thing we ministers have is a recommendation, an idea, a thought. And that's pretty much it to a minister being a minister. Know the religion that you follow. Know its history, where it comes from. Have studied the people that have followed it through the millennia. Be educated as to who and what you are. But a minister is a minister. It's all more about being true to who and what you are and working with the people that call you minister. Short broadcast today. Thank you for watching. We look forward to your comments always. Have a great day. Enjoy your week. And we'll see you next time right here on Open Pagan Church.